Welcome viewers. This is a little a tip-off for you to be able to flow in your preparation for Waec Commerce. Before you continue in your preparation, you need to have an idea of the areas where this exam body picks their question repeatedly. Of course, there are some topics that are broad and very important that they cannot do without setting questions from it. So your knowledge of these topics will give you an edge, an upper hand, a good preparation towards the exam itself. So you must find out which are these topics so that you can immerse yourself into them, you can deeply study them and prepare so that in case you meet them, you will be so glad you did prepare for them. And somehow they come in different angles to set questions on this topic or topics. So they actually would do so repeatedly almost every year. Questions are taken from these topics. So even when you're going to write soon, you expect questions to come from it. So it's an edge that you have if you're able to research on these topics much more and look at past questions on them as well. You will see how they are asked and how to answer them. So in Waec exams, in no particular order, of course, they don't go in any particular order, all right? But at least we can follow a little bit from the contents of our textbooks that we're using before now. So not in any chronological way. It can interfere or it can come before or another one. So just look at it and listen very well. One of the topics that questions are asked from repeatedly, all right, commonly by Waec is titled business ownership or structure, or types of business ownership, all right, business structure, or you can call it business organization, all right. In this case, it talks about the types of business organization which has to do with sole proprietorship, partnership, cooperative societies, limited liability companies, and so on. So if you study that aspect of the topic, you have a lot of questions that come from it. When you watch the video for the objective questions that we're going to present to you as well, you'll see that a lot of questions come from that angle. So that's number one. We're talking about the advantages and disadvantages of these business types as well, and how they are owned. The next one you have is business environment, all right? Which are the factors that affect the operations of a business. It could be political environment, economic environment, social and technological environment, how the business impacts the environment as well and in its operation. That's what we'll talk about when we refer to business environment. So these are one of the areas that the government looks at that Waec looks at when it sets questions to test your preparedness for these exams, when you write the exams. Okay, the next topic here, like I said, in no particular order, represents or is marketing and distribution. Marketing and distribution. Of course, when you look at the question, you see there what's called the marketing concept, or the marketing of products, which is that has to do with the 4 P's, all right, of marketing. We call it marketing mix, right? Product, place, and what? Product, place, pricing, and what? Promotion. Those questions are also involved. They ask questions a lot from them, so you take note of them and study them a lot. Then you talk about types of markets, which has to do with retail, wholesale, and other types of markets. Okay, and then that's just study them, all right. Also talk about channel of distribution. Try to understand the channels of distribution and how goods are distributed. That also will help you understand more about the questions you're going to be seeing in Waec. The next one you're going to consider, like I said, in no particular order, is what we refer to as trade and commerce. Trade and commerce. Here, you learn about trade, all right, its aids, home and foreign trade, okay, and the scope of commerce as well, all right. Also, you do what? look at the difference between domestic and international trade, barriers to trade, and how they are overcome. So these are the areas that you can look out for in these topics that we are mentioning. You see, if you can read a lot and treat questions under these topics this much, you are more than ready for Waec. You can make an A, I believe so. The next option we have, our topic we have, is business communication. Business communication. How are we talking about this? There are types of business communication, which is written, verbal, oral. What type is the most suitable at any time? How do you choose your means of communication in advertising, in communication? How do you go about choosing it? You have to learn it there in business communication, as well as the importance and the effectiveness of these communications in business. All right. Then you talk about the business letters and so on. Then, of course, these are the things you should take note of when you are reading or preparing for Waec about business communication, all right? How business interests and ideas and activities are passed on between the participants in business. Then we have the next one here is finance and banking. Finance and banking. So for finance, we talk about the functions of banks, commercial, central, and other forms of banking institutions or financial institutions, right? How they got source of funds for businesses, how they got to provide funds for businesses, and how businesses can tap into banking activities to succeed. You read them up, you will know. They also form source of business finance. Please read that up as well. The next thing you're looking at here, in fact, if you check it very well, after discussing trade and commerce, what we're looking for now is what we're talking about, aids to trade. Just look at it, all right? Aids to trade. Waec and JAM topics are just side by side the same thing, just a little different, just a slight different. The rest are all the same. If you have watched the video that I made for the most repeated topics for commerce in JAM, just go through them as well in Waec. You will be most prepared for it. But let's just itemize this again. We have those aids to trade. You have communication, you have banking and finance, you have insurance. The next we're talking about now is now insurance. You talk about the basic concepts in insurance. That is, you have those premium jettison, contango, and rest of so. Please look about the types of insurance, indemnity insurance and non-indemnity insurance, losses in insurance, okay, and the types of marine insurance and so on. So look at it very well. Insurable interest and the rest. So please take note of that. Read up and you'll be able to do what? To answer questions that have to do with insurance and how important insurance is to a business. These areas are very important too because you'll be asked questions to know how much you know about insurance and business life. Okay, the next one we have here is what we call the legal aspect of business, all right? We call it business law and ethics. Okay, these are the areas where also you have to do with protection of your activities in business, how you can protect yourself while doing business, and how you can protect your business as well from troubles around. So if you study that area, look at the basic legal concepts relative to business, contracts and their responsibilities, contracts and their elements, then you look at also business ethics and corporate social responsibilities. These are the things we're talking about. So they have to do with what? Business, law, and ethics. The next one we have here, number 9, like I said, no particular order, of course, but number 9 is what? We have human resource management. Human resource management. We talk about the functions of human resource managers, how they try to recruit when there's need to recruit, how they train, how they monitor, how they reward each labor, how they motivate workers. Okay, the different ways to motivate workers, how labor and employee rights are established, the rules and responsibilities of employers and employees. These are the things you look out for. The rights and responsibilities of agents to their principals and so on. So please take note of that. Very important. Then we have business planning and organizations. The importance of business planning in the business life. You should be taking note of, read it very well, understand it. We also have organizational structure and their hierarchy in business. Try and make sure that you understand that one. Then you also talk about business objectives and goals setting in business. So my people, my listeners and viewers, there are many other topics, but every year in and out, there is always some topics that cannot be avoided. That's what I've listed to you. There could be more, but these are the minimal we can go, the least we can go. So please study this and many other ones that you feel. Go and look up the video I did on JAMB, most of the will add that to what you have. I'm believing that it will help you a lot to prepare for Waec, and by so doing, you achieve your expected outcome. I'm sure it will be an A. God bless you as you go ahead in doing so.